There we go. There we go. Oh shit. I'm gonna need a lighter. And some smokes and all that. Being a couch potato. Being a potato della couch. Being a potato della couch. The donation era. I know, dude. The dono era has begun. Yeah, I was just monkeying around in my settings. I saw the monetization thing, and it was literally just like, you can just turn it on. You don't even really have to apply. You can just like turn it. And I was like, oh. So I'm already a partner, basically. So I hit the button, and it was like, congrats, you're a partner. I was like, oh. The dono arc begins. Yeah, whatever. You know, I'm not expecting donos, but if somebody wants to toss them out there, now they can. Oh, okay, I think we're okay. Yep, Naughty Priest runs by and drops a Billy on me. He's just like, I've been waiting for this, dude. Here's a Billy. Just a cool Billy after taxes. Stone cold Billy, dude. Oh, Phoebes, you didn't have to do that shit. Naughty Priest, you didn't have to do that shit either. Wow, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Yeah. I'm glad Naughty Priest survived the harvest season, bro. Homeboy was like, you can tell when Naughty Priest is going to be bitching about something. He's like, you know what I mean? He's going through it. Don't worry about it, Phoebes. You don't owe me shit. You guys are nice. You guys are very kind. I appreciate it. Good shit, right? Of course, of course. And it's always my pleasure to do these, and so you know, like I've resisted like turning on the donos and stuff for a while, and just as a result of like, you know, I don't want every goddamn fucking second of everything I do to have to be monetized. But the truth of the matter is I got to get in where I fit in, bro. And sometimes you just need to make some guap. You know, Naughty Priest, you're the goat, dude. Thank you for all of you guys. It's very nice of you. And hey, it's cool. People can like your super chats and stuff now too. That's kind of neat. That's new. Very cool. All right. Well, very neat. People just hammering them likes. Makes sense. You do it twice a day for several hours. I mean, it's not even really it's more just like I have to, like, there's an impetus to make money, right? And as little as I want to make that a part of my life, the truth of the matter is that some of the shit that I want to get done in the next couple, 2, 3 years is going to require some fucking guap. I'm going to need to, like, you know, I don't have to dollar max every second of my time, right? But I need to play the game a little bit here and there, right? Capitalist wants to make money. Shocker. I know, right? Abundance is good. It's easier to do things with money, full stop, right? So here we be. Here we be. I'm thinking about turning on memberships here, but that's something that we're going to like kick around the community before it happens. Just to see if people would even be interested in such a thing. You know, turning on like special emojis and blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't even really know, like, exactly how all of that's going to work. What kind of coffee? Folgers, bro. Right out of the red plastic barrel, bro. Good old Folgers. On that instant. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to just turn it on willy-nilly. I'd have to get some cute little emojis for people to use in here. Some Paul faces and some Dinor faces and some skibbity toilets and, you know, just some stuff to throw up, you know. Did you see TJ's garbage Hell in a Cell Atheist 2008 video where he basically said nothing but bitching about religion? That's an interesting way of consuming that content and contextualizing it. I didn't really see it that way. You know, knowing TJ, right, and as a result of that, being able to kind of cut through the theatrics that TJ throws in front. TJ is having kind of like a spiritual time in his life, and it's not shocking to me. You know, he and I are not super far apart in age. I think he's got about 5 years between us, right? Something like that. And, you know, I'm kind of going through the same thing, very different ways, but he's kind of like thinking more broadly about those types of things, right? That's what I took from the video, right? It wasn't necessarily a teardown of religion so much as it was a re-examination of the idea. Amen. I was talking about that yesterday. I was like, you know, I would be down. Like, I would be down to see if TJ, you know, like to have TJ come on, just do like an informal kind of talk stream where we chill, you know, co-stream or whatever. He can stream on his channel, I'll stream over here, and just like pick each other's brains on the spiritualism stuff. You know, spirituality in general and how we're approaching it possibly in our current eras. I think it'd be an interesting conversation. I definitely just want to pick TJ's brain about it in general, for sure. Who was it that TJ made cry back in the day? Coughlin. TJ, leave me alone. Can't you see? I want to be left alone. TJ, leave me alone. Yeah, Coughlin 666, bro. That's some old drip. That's some old YouTube drama from the pre-drama days, you know? Oh, man. Please no. Spicy weed. We got some pepper flakes in it, yo. Or do they want it like right after your, like, did you send mine in and then you have to send yours in? Yeah. Oh, God. Okay. Well, that's lame. Oh, goodness. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. I know you can resist the money bags. I mean, come on, who can? I don't even remember you being a dick. You know, so it's water under the proverbial bridge, I guess. It's chill. Sometimes people just get in a bad mood. I definitely will pop off and say some fucking pretty mean shit sometimes when I'm in a bad mood. What I've learned is when I'm feeling that way, I just remove myself, right? Usually. I'll just go like, nope, I'm just not going to be around people today because that's the way it is. Is this weed? No. Perfectly legal tobacco. And that's all we smoke is perfectly legal tobacco. I don't fuck around with anything else. Okay? They were the one who said TJ said nothing in that video, but it's all good. I don't know. People experience things on different levels and at different wavelengths and stuff, and that's okay. Yeah. OG sip. Gotta get, I gotta get it down. I gotta get the OG sip down. The perfect mixture. I gotta work on it. Wondering if I can get unbanned from chat. I don't know what I did wrong. Everybody gets unbanned eventually. Like, no bans are permanent here. That's always been a rule here. People get flipped out about it, but I at in irregular intervals clear the ban list. So no, this is perfectly legal tobacco. See, I don't do marijuana. Yeah, that's tough for me. You know, the whole like keep the airflow open around the joint thing is tough for me. That air mix is tough because like my instinct is take a big tight pull and pull it back. That's how I've smoked my whole life, but now I smoke like that. It just makes me cough. You should sell your own merch. You could do a line of beard products. Oh yeah, I could. That's a good point. You make a good point, sir. Beard load brand. Yeah. Why not? Why the fuck not, bro? Load beard. I know you hate spliffs, but I love them. You can pull a bit harder. Maybe we'll have to hit up a spliff together then, since we're both fucking dirty smokers. When we get together, we'll just have to fucking roll up a nice fucking fat spliff. It's been a hot minute since I did a spliff. Maybe my mind has changed on the spliff. But I don't want to do it unless I'm in the presence of the great Andrew. I want to see how you do it. I'm going to smoke it how you smoke it. So we'll do that. Yeah, load beard conditioner. Minty load beard. I haven't had a spliff in probably like well over 30 years, bro. I think I smoked like a couple of little spliffs in my teens. Here and there, you know? Squeak, squeak, squeak. Get Paul's load today. 10% coupon. 10% off of Paul's load. Why not, dude? I don't know. Throw a little crack in the spliff. I don't know about that either. I don't think you could do that. You can't just sprinkle some crack in there and combust it. Crack, you gotta have like a glass dick to suck on with the crack, because it's gotta like, you gotta get the vapors. You can't just like roll it up and smoke it, bro. I mean, yeah, I mean, you could probably say that Andrew and I, like, if he threw all the Beauregard shit together, it would easily be a mixtape, right? You know, the way that Andrew and I work together is just kind of like, in the past at the very least, low-key shit. You know, I think we're both, you know, kind of got our eyes on the fun of it first. You know what I mean? And like that to me is, so yeah, dude, I love doing that stuff. It's a lot of fun. I had the idea for a rap song this morning. I want to do like, you know that song, that horrible song that you can't sing anymore because you're canceled if you do that. One little, two little, three little Indians. Dude, I was like, one bad, two bad, three bad, four bad, five bad bitches in the Phantom. Six bad bitches. You know what I mean? Just like, and that just popped in my head, bro. I was like, dude, that might be fun. I just see it at the beginning, or chorus. Yeah, you know what I mean. One bad, two bad, three bad, four bad, five bad bitches in the Phantom. Six bad bitches in the. Well, I don't know. You got to write the rap, you know. You got to go to five, bro. Four bad bitches is not enough. That's a coven, right? They get together, they team up. You got to have an odd number always. Still gonna sample that game. Hey, dude, like I said, dude, it's floating out there, right? It's in the collective conscious of Andrew and Beauregard now, dude. Whatever happens with it, bro. Sample some kids in a '90s doc singing it and let it build into the song. You could, yeah. Double Dutch. One bad, two bad, three bad, four bad, five bad bitches in the Phantom. Five bad bitches in the Phantom. Five bad bitches in the Phantom. Oh yeah, dude. That joint with Jareth was fucking crazy. Crazy, crazy. Scotty is rap. Yeah, dude. Do I play Call of Duty? I play Call of Man and dumbass motherfuckers with too much time. Like, can I ask you guys how hard would it be for YouTube to just straight up ban what's in this dude's username? Just to like make it like something like, oh, you want to make a username with that? How about this? Your account's banned. How hard would it be? And then the question becomes, why haven't they done it? That's the real question, right? How hard would it be to stop people trolling with that fucking word by putting it in the name of their shit? Like literally, that's their account name that they're showing up with. How hard would that be? Dude, name me a website where you're allowed to name yourself N-word some shit other than YouTube. I'll wait, bro. You know what I mean? Like some of the shit that you like content creators deal with because YouTube just doesn't, I don't know what it is, man. Maybe the people that put that type of shit in their names, that's some ad budget shit. Like how hard would it be to just turn on the thing like you can't have the N-word in your fucking account name? All right. COD players going 1 hour without using the N-word challenge equals impossible. Yeah. It seems that way. I don't know. I haven't played Call of Duty. I don't want to judge. I haven't played Call of Duty since like Call of Duty 2 or whatever the fuck. I got my fill of that little gameplay loop a long time ago. So I don't want to judge everybody by one little yardstick, but okay, that was better. That was a good air mix. But I caught myself before I took a big old stiff draw. Gotta open it up. that was a little too much. I went a little too hard on that one. See what I mean? How hard do I carb it? How far do I push? Hey, baby. Oh, I stole the cigarettes, didn't I? I'm sorry. Here, let me get a towel for you, and I'll just wipe that off.
That's all, I'll just stand.
Baby, come on. What kind of human being would I be? One bad, two bad, three bad, four bad, five bad bitches and a phantom. Five bad bitches and a savage. Five bad bitches and we traveling to the Diddy party up in Calabasas. Booty oil up in the trunk. Dude, I've been listening to too much of Amelia's hyperpop.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think a little hyperpop action might need to happen, bro. Little Beauregard, Five Bad Bitches hyperpop song. Because you could get up to a lot of trouble with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bad bitches. 4 is manageable. 3 is almost just like not even a flex anymore. 5 though, and then you got a team of bad bitches, and then the doors open up. You know.
You need that boinging beat for a hyperpop song.
Boom, 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 boom. You know. Yeah, you got to be bouncy.
Which one did you listen to that you liked the most when I was taking over the radio?
I've been riding Alice hard.
Yeah.
I think she's just like, especially just like her newer stuff. I like some of the older stuff too, more experimental, but like she's really leaned into the like 808s and kind of techno beats type of thing. I like that shit. Yeah. I just like her style in general.
I'd play some, but I don't want you to get claimed on your first monetized video.
I mean, can't really fuck around with that anymore, I guess, huh? 100 gex is my shit. You listen to them?
No.
Nope. Name, who are your top 5 hyperpops right now?
I would say if you consider Cobra hyperpop.
Yeah.
And Charlie XCX, I like some of her stuff, but not all of it.
Yeah.
And then Shy Girl is another one.
Haven't heard that.
There's a couple of hers on that Bodies playlist.
Okay. And Alice, maybe. Yeah. Would you put Alice on your list?
Alice Longy Gal. You taking a little bath, birdies?
That is something that I've been thinking about though when it comes to like trying to write songs and stuff. I wanna have more fun with it. Like I don't want it necessarily to be I just want to kind of get a little not totally goofy. But I've been listening to a little bit of like Lil Yachty. Not necessarily his brand new stuff, but stuff from like a year or so ago. Been going through the Yachty catalog because Yachty is one of those dudes that like I don't like off top, but the more I listen, the more I appreciate how like he's created this environment where he can basically say whatever the fuck he wants. He doesn't have to stick to the same 5 or 6 catchphrases about, you know, racks and cap and this, that. I mean, he can just kind of like go with it. And a lot of his songs will have these like, it's almost like Tyler the Creator-esque, where he's, you know, he'll get very goofy for a second, say something that's like out of pocket. So I think it'd be fun to just write like a cool, since the early 2000s are back, you may as well write a party song, you know? Party rock is in the house again. Ski Mask, yeah. I love just how like open to just making anything work. I hate how like limited my vernacular is when I think about rap. And I would love to be able to like access some more creative, funny, kind of goofy, out of pocket stuff. No, I like Tyler. I'm not the world's biggest Tyler fan, though. You don't normally catch me putting Tyler on. Like, it's hard to vibe to a lot of Tyler. Some of it, like his newer stuff, is vibable. But like the stuff of his that I really like to listen to on occasion, the older stuff is not, it's kind of hard to vibe to. Do you like Big Pun? I mean, sure. I'm not playable, I crush a lot. Rest in peace to Big Pun, but we all knew that wasn't going to last, bro. That dude was triple wide. Big Punisher was triple wide.
That saucy squirrel's back.
Talking shit?
Oh, he's just wandering around.
Oh, hey.
Minor's not here to chase him, so.
You're a mean little squirrel. Do you know that, bud? He's a big guy, though. That's a big old boomer. Big, giant, like, male gray squirrel. Psh, big old boomer. Wow. I saw that episode of Family Guy, too, where he had a bird nest in his beard. Congratulations. Do you have raccoons in your area? Yes. Do we see them often in this neighborhood? No.
I think there's too many cats for them to be brave enough to be digging into stuff.
There's a lot of cats here, but
Possums are brave, but
possums are brave, but they get away with it because these cats have such an insane prey drive and stuff that their whole mechanism of just laying down and playing dead. Mm-hmm. A lot of times these cats will just lose interest.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got a mama possum that lives over here and her babies are growing up and she seems to be surviving in this cat infested neighborhood. So
they're also more interested in like more plant life. They're not trying to fight the cats over the garbage as much as a raccoon would.
Mm. they're foraging in areas that cats aren't necessarily going to be. You know, they're looking in your yard, they're looking in your plants, they're looking for mushrooms and grubs and insects that are slow and fat and easy to grab at night. You know, that's their main diet. They will scavenge garbage and that type of stuff like any other animal will, but they're not like primarily looking for that. They find themselves a good little territory that they know is damp enough that it's going to make some mushrooms, it's going to keep the bugs around, there's going to be grubs and larvae and this, that, and the other thing. That they're happy about that. Our little possum, you know, I've seen her most of the times when we see her, she's up on the fence line back there, just walking it at night. She's probably got a better yard, but I have seen her down in our yard actually.
Yeah, but I think she stays on the fence line until she knows that there's no one
If
else
we're out
there.
here, she ain't coming down. Yeah. But if it's dark out here and we've been dark in there for a while and she knows, you know, she probably walks this whole yard. They're I love possums. A lot of people think they're ugly. But I think most animals are fucking cute, even really ugly ones. But yeah, possums are adorable. They're great animals. They really are. They're actually like really smart little animals.
They're tick eaters too, right?
Yep. Yeah, they're really good to have around your house. It's like, you know, I look at some little animals, having them around is like a blessing to your house, right? It's like you have living in your neighborhood this ecosystem that's going to keep roaches, spiders, fungus from taking over your lawn. You know what I mean? It's like the natural cycle of it is represented when you see certain creatures, right? And I know that in this neighborhood, at the very least, it's a good thing. Armadillos are the same way. These kind of like insect eaters, foraging type of things. You know, there's no armadillos in this area, but having lived in Louisiana and seen a lot of dillos, having them around your house and where you're living is only a good thing. They eat ticks, fleas, mosquito larvae, you know, all the kind of things you don't want there to be millions of. So I legit want a pet possum. I mean, my mom had a pet possum when she was a kid. My mom has a story where her dad hit a possum in the road, stopped. It had babies all over it. My mom this is a crazy story. My mom there were 3 possum babies that had survived the crash. Mom was dead. So my mom took the 3 possum babies, right? And she said they were actually great pets. They would follow her around like little dogs, right? She fed them dog food and stuff, and they seemed to be doing just fine. You know, she'd take them out in the yard. She had a niece who was around her age. My mom's family is, I don't know what you call that, like a late in life. My mom was a late life baby. So my mom had a sister who had kids that were about her age when she was born, right? So her niece, but that is around her age, had a snake, a big king snake, right? Brought it over one day, put it in a pen in the yard, left it out there for a while, didn't think about it, right? Somebody let the little possums out of the house. They went back there. Suddenly the possums are nowhere to be found, and there's 3 big lumps in the king snake. It literally it fucking hunted and ate all 3 of those fucking possums in like one meal.
Circle of life, man.
They don't show you that in the beginning of The Lion King. Just a baby possum being gulped down. Snake wanted to eat and stay fed from, like a meal like that for a snake like that would have been like 2 or 3 months. You don't really got to worry about it. Just find like a safe place you can crawl out and maybe get warm during the day and that stays insulated at night, and you're fucking chill.
What did your mom say she did to the snake after?
Well, she wanted her dad to kill it,
Yeah.
but of course, her niece was like, no, 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 right? And so one of them had just been eaten. Her dad milked it out of the snake, but it was dead. It was just a corpse. And so he said, see, if I kill the snake and cut it open, you're not going to save these anymore. Just blah, blah, blah. It sucks. You know, basically, it was shit out of luck.
Yeah.
My mom's niece got to keep her king snake, and my mom lost her 3. But here's the thing about possums that you should know. They're rodents. Their lifespan is like 5 years. 6, I think, at the upper end. And, you know, if you're that type of pet owner that, you know, you'd be okay if your fucking pet dies at 3 years old, I guess you could do that type of pet. I'm just not a fan of rodents, dude. In general, I love them. They're cute. They're adorable. But that lifespan is heartbreaking.
Yeah. Well, like with hamsters too, if they don't just die young, they get into stupid shit and end up accidentally killing themselves.
Yeah, I mean,
they don't have the best survival instincts.
No, they don't. I mean, especially in the environment that we put them in and stuff. It's like we put them in this hermetically sealed environment, and they're tiny little rodents, and so their brain doesn't need much. It's not like it. I really don't think hamsters are necessary if you keep them properly. Now, they should never be put in those little plastic things where they. But like if you keep them in a fish tank sized thing with good fucking, you keep them clean. They have things to play with. They've got burrow spot. That's all a hamster really fucking needs. They're not a hard thing to take care of. But man, if they don't die in about a year, you know, about a year is what you get out of a fucking hamster if you take good care of them, maybe 2. And it's like,
I had a friend that had a whole hermit crab graveyard in their garden from all the hermit crabs they'd had.
yeah. Does a hamster need a roommate? No, actually. It's bad to keep hamsters together. They're naturally solitary creatures that like do foraging on their own, and they only come together to mate or fight for mates. And so what ends up happening is a lot of times they end up just squabbling with each other or killing each other even. So you really can't have hamsters together. They don't want to be together. They'd rather not. Now, you can have hamsters that know each other when you pull them out of your pen and you have them play together a little bit, but you can't have them live competing for the same resources and stuff. That's just, you can't really do that. Guinea pigs, yes. You need, if you have a lone guinea pig, you're just torturing that animal. If they don't have another little friend, guinea pig, or another animal that they can associate as a guinea pig, they are fucked.
That's why people have guinea pig hutches.
Yep. But guinea pigs, there's those animals too that like you get 2 and then you'll have 20 in a month. Like they are insanely fast breeders, insanely prolific little animals. And so there's really like...
You have to double check that they're not a male and a female.
Yep.
Or get them fixed. I assume you can get them fixed.
You can. It costs $200.
Yeah. Because they gotta go.
It's tiny little surgery. But yeah, you can get them fixed. But a guinea pig, once again, their life cycle is 5 years.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Oh, that reminds me of your story about your mom's guinea pigs.
Yeah. Yeah, the guinea pigs.
Your mom went through so much little pet trauma.
Well, that's the thing is like, one of the ways that I think my mom dealt with the kind of like insane poverty she grew up in was like focusing on animals and stuff that was outside of the house or little things she could take care of. And then living in that kind of environment, it was way more common for people to catch wild things or to have exotic pets, right? Like, believe it or not, it was pretty easy if you wanted one to get your hands on like a monkey back in the 50s or 60s, right? There were people that would just sell them in the newspaper. And there was really no mechanism by which they could be punished, even if there was a rule against trading in these types of animals. And so it was not uncommon for people to have a pet monkey. But of course, think back then, they had no fucking concept of how to take care of these animals, what these animals' social needs were. It was just like, hey, look at my monkey. Some of them were probably fine. Most of them probably died a horrible, lonely death, right? But these wild animals being used as this, that, or the other, right? Totally fucking common back then. And so my mom has always been that way. She used to have these river turtles that she bought off of some dude out in front of a thing because they were tiny. And then she finds out that they're red-eared sliders. And if you take care of them properly, they're basically like medium-sized dinner plate-sized turtles that are like wild and aggressive and crazy. And so she ended up like having this whole moral conundrum because she kept getting the bigger and bigger tanks for her turtles. And eventually she just had to have this tearful like release party for them because they're endemic. So she took them to a place where red-eared sliders thrive, let them go. They didn't even look like she expected there was going to be a moment where they like, you know, looked back over at her like, thank you. She put them down and they were like, oh my God. And they just were gone, you know, and she's like, you know what I mean? But like, that's kind of how people get.
Yeah. But I was thinking of the guinea pig story too. That was her too, right?
Yeah. Well, what part of it?
Where she was selling the babies. And,
yeah. Because my mom wanted guinea pigs. She had one when she was a baby or when she was young. She loved the little noise they make, and it really is adorable. They do this like little reverse squeal. It's like whoop, 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 whoop. It's like hard to. It doesn't sound like any other kind of like little animal that you could think of. So my mom loved them. She got a couple, 2, 3, or 4 of them or whatever to have a little hutch because she knew that they hated being alone. And then pretty soon we got 20 fucking baby guinea pigs. And she's like, oh. So she started selling guinea pigs to like through, I think it was through the newspaper. And come to find out, the guinea pigs are like they're indigenous to South America and Central America. And they're like a delicacy. People will eat them shits. And so
someone kept coming back.
Yep. She found out that she had been selling guinea pig meat to like Central American immigrants for like, you know, good 6 years or something. I don't know. Oh, people eat them. And it's not. It doesn't make it. It literally isn't that nonsensical. They're like a really common little prey animal there. Like it's like we eat things here, right? Little prey animals that run around and shit. But yeah, it's like
stopped selling after that.
Well, when she made the connection that like, damn, there's like a community of people that are eating these old motherfuckers up, then she stopped doing the whole guinea pig thing entirely.
Yeah.
You know, she separated the males and the females into 2 different hutches and then just let them kind of, they were fine, just no more babies. They're eating the guinea pigs, goddammit. That could go viral now. Dude tells story of migrants eating the pets. It's like, oh man, that's not what I meant to do with that. I don't really have a problem with them. Dude, what are you going to do with an animal that you put 2 of them together and a month later you've got 20 of them? Like, I don't think, like, as long as they weren't, like, cooking them alive or something, just like, how's that any different than them slaughtering a cow or some shit? It isn't to me. It's just not something that's common here in the States. And my mom had no fucking, she just thought, like, wow, everybody loves these little guinea pets. Yeah. She just, you know, was happy to, like, okay, I got a little side business. But people would buy every one of them. Yeah. And then somebody told her, like, I can't remember what group of immigrants, what country it was, but somebody put her up on game. Like, you know, they eat guinea pig. It's like super duper common. Oh my God. So she freaked out.
Well, people have found that stuff out with like reptile owners too. Like someone buying a bunch of their babies and they realize like, oh, they're just feeding all this to a snake.
Or eating it, like iguana meat and stuff. Their tail, super dense, muscly, tastes like chicken kind of meat. People eat that type of shit, right? And so, like, I don't necessarily have a problem with it, because how could I? So long as there's a humane standard for it. The animals aren't suffering as they grow to slaughter age or whatever. You're taking good care of them. You're providing for their needs, right? I would hate, you know, that wasn't being followed. But other than that, I can't really find that much of a fucking moral conundrum with people slaughtering animals for meat. If human beings were provably vegetarian species, then we could have the conversation. But we are not. Okay, we're an omnivorous species by nature. Protein is like, dude. When I went to my doctor recently for a medical problem I'm having, and she goes, what are you doing with your diet? And I said, well, I stopped eating meat. And she was like, oh my God, I want you to eat meat. I want you to eat chicken and turkey and lean this. And, we corrected her and said, like, I'm a pescatarian. We still eat fish. We still eat eggs, cheese. And she was happy with that. But it's just like, there's a reason. And I'm not saying that doctor was necessarily right in my instance, but there's a reason why most nutritionists and doctors will be like, get a lean protein in there. Your body needs that shit. And to be quite frank, your body doesn't care if it's guinea pig meat, iguana meat, chameleon meat, or fucking cow meat. It's all meat in the stomach and coming out the other end, right? And so, like, to me, the whole moral conundrum over the slaughtering of animals for meat, like, I'm sorry. Even though I saw horrible things growing up, right, and it really put me off of meat more than anything, being a 4-H kid, having to kill a pig, having to watch it be processed, all of that stuff. No, I went through that as a kid, and it put me off. Seeing that the process was not inhumane to the animal, also kind of like gave me a different moral perspective on how meat can be processed humanely and to the benefit of like a family of people that need it, right?
Yeah. Like I said, the circle of life, we're part of it too.
Right. I just told a story about like a king snake eating 3 possums, which like king snakes are endemic, possums are endemic. Out in the wild, that king snake would eat 10 baby possums if it could get them. Mm-hmm. And nobody would cry a tear, right? Like, how are we functionally different from the king snake, right? We're a predatory animal. We're an animal that's omnivorous, right? This is all just documented by evidence, anthropological evidence. So, and look, it's been known for a long time that there are better ways to keep, raise, and slaughter an animal than others, right? Like if you look at like Judaism and the idea of kosher meat, one of the things about kosher meat, right? So you understand the kosher blessing and all, yeah. So it's like the animal has to be treated and fed in a certain way that's humane, and it has to be slaughtered humanely.
Yeah,
if
throat cutting, right?
If the meat suffers, right? If the animal suffers in a factory setting, then you can't consume it. That's
unclean.
It's unclean, right? So that's part of the kosher blessing, right? And so, like, I'm not a Jew, but you can see that reflected in Judaism and a number of other religions as well. I believe that, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but Islam has standards for humane butchering of animals as well, right? Country that eats them is sometimes Peru. Let me tell you something. I saw a guy the other day, and I didn't want it to seem racist, but he was in my town selling flowers when we were coming back from my mom's house. I don't know if you remember the little guy. I saw that guy, and I was like, and I didn't want it to come off as racist, but I don't think it is. Because I grew up around so many Hispanic migrants, I could tell he was either like Bolivian or Peruvian, or super Southern Mexican, like Oaxaca. People from those regions tend to be much shorter than the average person is these days, right? Like it's average height for like a guy from that region, I think, is something like 5'4".
And then like women, it's like
4'10", 4'11", yeah.
Like I think Guatemala is the shortest, or
you might be right about that. I know Peru is very short as well. And and there's like obviously people from different regions, there are different facial features that you learn that are in,
Yeah.
not necessarily like 100% accurate, but like looking at his facial features. Well, the thing here's how I think of it. I don't think this is necessarily right. He looked Indian, American Indian, like he had like that Indian/Inuit kind of look, which is, I think, typical of populations that are further in South America and more remote as well, right? Peruvians.
The indigenous people that didn't mix with the Spanish as much.
Well, Well, or when they did, it was way back and then enclave, right? Like Peruvians have a very kind of like unbroken chain of society, right? The Spanish impinged, but as it stands now, Peruvians are still mostly Peruvian. If you go deep into Peru, and so those kinds of facial features and height things, like, not that there aren't outliers within those populations. Of course there are. Sometimes a Peruvian is born and he's 6'8", he's a giant. But like I was just looking at that guy there, and he was doing something that was very typical of a migrant, right? When you can't be working in the field, when the fields are closed, right? Because there's no light, you're out in the magic hour selling fruit, nuts, flowers, trinkets, right? And so is that like profiling for me to have assumed all of that about that person? To a certain extent, it is, right?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, but it's based in reality. Like, you grew up in this area and you know how
It's
this
not
area is
it's not
composed.
profiling with a negative intent.
Yeah, it's not like you just saw him standing, like, walking down the street or in the grocery store and assumed all of that.
Right. No, I saw him, like selling flowers on the corner, walking up and down. He was selling carnations, which are very cheap to purchase, right? Easy to kind of flip. Yeah, Aztec, Maya, Inca, Mixtec, Olmec, Toltec. That's what I meant when I was saying Indian or native, right? Like, and the native populations of different regions of North and South and Central America look distinctly different, right? They have a distinct physicality and a distinct facial feature set, right? As is true of people who are from anywhere, right?
So I guess Guatemala's number 4 on the height.
Okay.
Number 1 is Timor-Leste. It's a Southeast Asian island.
Okay. Where's Peru in there? Peru.
So number 2 is Laos. Number 3 is Madagascar. 4 Guatemala. 5 Philippines. 6 Nepal. 7 Yemen. 8, 9 Bangladesh.
Man, these Asian countries just got us whooped, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, you want short? You got to go east.
I mean, that doctor I was telling you about that was like 4'10" was Asian. Some kind of Asian. I wasn't.
Sure. Yeah, I didn't grow up around enough Asians to be able to do my wizardry with Asians. But if you're Hispanic, I can probably tell you. At least I have a good idea. We smoking that Bubblicious Grape OG. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, look out. Dude, somebody sent a fucking whole ass super chat, and I fucking was like, oh, look at that, and then it disappeared.
Are you having a hard time sorting?
No, I'm just not used to it. I'm sorry, bro. Anonymous. Hey, Paul, I usually don't get to catch the live streams. All hail Lord Tomat. Thank you, bro. I'm sorry I missed that, dude.
Yeah, he just turned it on.
I literally just fucking turned it on. I'm not used to it. Yeah, I turn on super chats. So yeah, I mean, that shit's on, but I just, so forgive me for that. I hope Anonymous forgives me for that, or whoever that was. I know you don't have to put your name out. I'm cool with that. Whoever that was, I hope that you forgive me for that.
Yeah, there's not like a separate fan funding sort on the phone stream.
There is.
Oh, there is?
Up here in the corner, if I touch the fucking super chat button, no, I guess not. Well, yeah. I can turn it to super chats only. So maybe I just need to do that. Everyone, not for me, the view. So I can do top chat.
Yeah, for me, I can only do...
on my end, let me see here. Because I can do, chat filter, super chats.
Okay. So you can do it, but the other other people can't do it like they can on other live streams.
Right. And so yeah, and I missed a no, I didn't. Those were all from earlier. Okay, so we're chill. So yeah, I can filter the chat down to just supers, so I just need to do that every once in a while, make sure I didn't miss anything. But yeah, thank you guys for those of you that have donated. It's very kind of you. Not necessary. Always appreciated. All of that fun stuff.
Yeah. You just gotta make sure all the stuff is the same.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you just gotta update everything, make sure it's sending it to the right place and all that.
Well, I looked at that, okay. And the only thing that's not on it is it's like an old address, but okay. It's still going to the right bank account.
Okay.
So I can change that. I have to, whatever, the AdSense thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fine. I just kind of like did what I went through their little process. And I thought honestly that like it was going to take way longer, but I guess because I'd already had my AdSense pre-approved on the account, yeah. It's like, it was super easy. We'll see how long it lasts, though. Yeah. I will not be shocked if this channel goes poof as a result of that decision, but you got to try. Yeah. I really don't think I'm doing anything objectionable here most of the fucking time. Sometimes I will get into a conversation that probably, like, YouTube, it's a little bit blue for YouTube, you know what I mean? I'm gonna put out the fucking shades. Yeah.
Oh, I was so involved in my other stuff earlier. I gotta go down on breakfast.
Oh no, breakfast. All right. Okay, that's better. I don't mind a little sun. It feels good, but I don't need it right in my fucking phone, you know? But then YouTube dinged you, so who knows? I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Nothing surprises me anymore when it comes to YouTube, so we'll just ride the wave. No, it's politics, bro. You hear it? I like tuning into this political argument way better than like the news, you know? Imagine that shit, dude. They're straight out. It's like a Congress going on right now. They're politicking. Such a dense swarm of communication going on. Just like a massive amount of communication being broadcast around them. They see the mystery for sure.
Cricket got a few kibbles that had fallen down.
Oh no. There's just like politics going on in that tree today. You hear that shit?
I forgot to ask you, did you want a second cup of coffee or no?
I would love a second cup, but not at the expense of you getting a second cup.
No, I made enough for us.
Oh, you made enough? Second. Yes, then.
This is the cup you were using most recently, right?
Yes. Thank you, baby. It rained last night, and there's a shameful fucking pile of sogginess going on around me, so let me just handle some of that here real quick. Yeah, unexpected rain last night while everybody was sleeping. Fantastic. Always happens when I can't be around to observe it. Just the way it works. Pile of soggy cigarettes going in the trash. Yippee skippy. Soggy cigarettes taken care of. Now, the next problem that I'm seeing developing is that got another cup of coffee coming. I need a fresh J. That is a whole thing that needs to happen, so. Get them done, and by then I'll have something ready to go. I love you, baby. Indeed. Such a cute little sweater that you have, Dee. The cutest little sweater I ever did see. Cutest little dog that I ever did see was Dirty D from that salty sea, taking a poop right behind me. Thanks, Star Nor. Paul, you're smart enough to live in an area where you don't have to worry about snow and ice. Yeah, I mean, like, right. Because you guys just have to deal with the Dutch angles today. Because just pretend that this is Battlefield Earth. Must be something can be done. Believe you me, Ed Harley. There's plenty to be done. I didn't want this. You asked for this, Ed Harley. No. I want to take it back. There's no taking it back now. It's got to run its course. You old witch. You old witch, you go to hell. You go to hell. God damn you. He already has, Ed Harley. He already has. Potatoes. Another 50 cycles. 50 cycles. With endless options for renewal. Paul, do you think Scientology founder was better as an author or religion founder? Well, he made way more money being a religion founder than he ever made being an author. Let's put it that way. Although you could arguably say that it was authorship of Dianetics. What do they call it? DMSMH. That started the religion of Scientology. So, but yeah. He definitely like increased his profit capacity by an order of magnitude when he decided to add religion to his authorship. But that's the thing about Elron Hubbard is he was a prolific writer prior to founding Scientology, and he remained such after. And so his writings are sacrosanct, or supposed to be sacrosanct amongst Scientologists. Call it the technology. And it is, yeah, supposed to be sacrosanct. But oftentimes isn't sacrosanct from my experience, because people can kind of like use it like people use the Bible, right? Interpret it this way, that way. Why is the Mormon church so stinking rich? Why is every church so stinking rich? That's the question, right? That's the question you ought to be asking yourself constantly and consistently. Why is every church so stinking, filthy, fucking rich? Why do you think there's no new religions founded in the 21st century right now? Is it because people are segmented and less likely to pay attention? I don't know. It's a good question. I really don't know. Maybe it's a glut of choice. Fenshu King Ru. Burn the books and bury the elite. Well, I know Shu is book. Wool. What is it? How do you go? Wo Chong Chong Jia. No, Wo Chong Chong Shu. Wo Chong Chong Shu Shu Dian. Wo Chong Chong Shu Meg Wo Shu Dian. Have there been many brave American warriors throughout all the wars in the U.S. has fought in? Yes. Capitalist conservative forces ally in religion. Yes. All right, what are you guys just gonna like? You guys just gonna spit all the the facts today? I'm just gonna start going. Yes. Is there a good religious movie? Yes. Majestic hair, my friend. Yes. Yes. People are having MAGA weddings. Yes. Yes. Wo Chong Chong Kan Shu. I think you would just assume books, right? Wo Chong Chong Kan. Could there be a wildfire in your area, Paul? No. There are routinely wildfires in the foothills and mountains surrounding my area, but the area that I live in is entirely deforested. I'm just not really going to have a wildfire situation. What would you do in a giant earthquake, Paul? Would you panic or stay cool? I mean, I'd probably panic. I've lived through quite a few earthquakes, some of them pretty big. Most people, like a lot of people, freak out at a pretty minor earthquake. To me, I just tune in, right? Because I understand certain things about earthquakes, having grown up and lived in California my whole life. The intensity and duration of them matter more than anything, right? And so if you get a quick, because that's how it kind of, that's what it would do, right? But everything, not just me. You get like one of those, right? There's almost a dizzy feeling that comes over you wherever you're at, laying down, sitting, because it's not the bed that's moving, it's not the house that's moving, it is the earth that's moving beneath you. And so there's a disorienting feeling about it. Being raised in California, I immediately recognize it as we're having an earthquake, right? And then it's like my brain goes into analytical mode. It's like, all right, how long does this go on and how intense is this? Was it just a quick little blip? And 99% of the time, that is what it is. It's, you know, less than 5 seconds worth of noticeable disorientation. If it persists beyond that, or becomes noticeable in the environment to where things are falling off of the walls, at that point, it's probably smart for you to get into a bathtub or a doorway, somewhere that is reinforced against collapse. Because that's the biggest thing that'll kill you in an earthquake, right? Just your home or a building you're in collapsing on you. But just knowing that puts you in a different panic mode, right, than most people. You know, a lot of people, I think, would maybe like think their best bet is to run into the street. And oftentimes that's what gets people killed in earthquakes, right? There's things falling off of these tall buildings. Those things are hurtling down at unpredictable angles, you know, people's flower pots and fucking chunks of the building. You want to be indoors and you want to be in a place that is somewhat annealed against collapse. Doorways, door frames, bathrooms, bathtubs, right? These types of places are better to be collapsed on than others, right? Get your ass out of here, fly. Paul, or go to the beaches, no chance of anything falling. Yeah, go to the beaches during an earthquake. Good idea. You know, a lot of people have died because of that. We covered like a disaster like that. There was an earthquake that caused a like an ancient Roman city to collapse, and the people and it caused a bunch of fires, and the town started uncontrollably burning, right? And the people, to escape the fire, all went to the beach. And when they got to the beach, they noticed that the tide had pulled way out. And so they started like thinking like, oh, cool, bonanza. They started picking up all this stuff that was revealed. And then all of a sudden a giant tidal wave hit them. So that's pretty fucked, right? Yeah, basically wiped out the whole city with fire and then killed and then drowned everybody or crushed everybody in the city with water. Like all in one swoop. You having fun, bud? I'm like, who the fuck are you, yokel? You having fun, bud? Fun bum bum bing be lim de lim de lim dim 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 de lim de lim de lim de lim de dim 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 hoo 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 hoo. Enjoyed y'all's Pumpkinhead and Hellraiser sequel commentaries. Have you heard of the Pumpkinhead computer game from the 90s? The game ending is literally Pumpkinheaded Nikes dancing to 50s tunes. Bro, I don't even want to talk about it yet. That's crazy, though. He finna report me? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Fiddly diddly diddly dee, fiddly diddly dee. I was gonna sub to you, but not anymore. Tiddle diddle ding ding dong 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 diddly. Oh shit, bro. I'm taking my business elsewhere, sir. Best of luck, truly. Yeah, he was all up in his, yeah. That little fella there was all up in his feelings today. I was going to sub to you, man, but I decided not to because I take myself very seriously. It's like, damn, man, I didn't realize you were going through it right now, man. I'm sorry about that, poor little feller. Here, why don't you take a ban and get the fuck up out of here? Paul at Texas Ren Fest right now eating lunch. Cool. I like Renaissance fests, dude. I like Renaissance festivals and whatnot. I think it's pretty cool. You know what one of the, can you guys guess what one of the best things about the Ren Fair is? Throw it out there. See if you guys get it right. Knowing me, like what's one of the grandest things about the Renaissance Festival? See, you don't know me very well, Decepticon. Turkey drumsticks, bro. You know I don't eat meat off the bone ever. I don't even eat meat. I'm a pescatarian. Get that shit out of me. I don't even want them turkey drumsticks. Somebody already said it. Oh, Abby already said it. Dude, for some reason, dude, let me tell you a little secret about Ren Fests, right? There is this like hidden cache of super bodacious titties, right? And they're around you all the time. These women be wearing these fucking outfits that be hiding it. But when they go to the Ren Fair, bro, they will just lace up this bodice and that shit is out there, bro. Out to here sometimes, bro. I'm not even kidding you, dude. Like a shelf. Like you could tuck a file folder in that motherfucker and tuck it away, right? If you had to go to court. You know what I mean? Like a whole manila folder. Just stick it in there, right? And you'll see that everywhere, bro. You'll walk in and you're just like, that's really what they ought to call it, but that's how you sneak them. That's how you get them to come in, because they're all like, I'm going to be a medieval peasant wench. I'm going to be a bar wench. I'm going to, you know, like every big titty girl has the same dream of being like, here's what, and I'm just going to like, look, dude, I know I'm talking about a whole group of women like a monolith right now, but let's be frank, they are, right? Every big titty girl has the same dream, bro. And I'm going to tell you what that dream is. They want to put their hair in 2 braided pigtails. They want to put on a lace-up bodice. They want to put on a pair of clogs and like a skirt to their knees, and they want to carry 2 big mugs of ale. I'm not even fucking joking with you, dude. There's something innate, right? It is a dream, and they won't admit it. They won't even fucking admit it. But, dude, if I'm lying, I'm dying. Every big titty girl wants to be a busty barmaid back in the fucking medieval times, bro. And when you go to the Ren Fair, like every last one of them has the same idea. The same idea. Is this an incel stream? I mean, it could be. I imagine there's a few of them lurking around. I'm married and happily so. But I'm just telling you, I'm just fucking putting you up on game. Right? Like the game is being fucking put up on. And here's another part of the game that's about to happen, because Jesus Christ, man. Now the fucking spammers have started. They're not getting enough attention, so now people are just spamming shit. So there you go. Now you can donate me a sub and wait your turn for a minute before you say a goddamn thing. How about that? Boost my algorithmic numbers and get some more donators up in here. Let's work together if you want to spam. Why should their hatred be free? My favorite part of the Elvis biopic that came out. Colonel, why are you selling I Hate Elvis pens?
Yeah, why would we sell this, Colonel?
There are millions of people who love Elvis Presley. They want to buy your shirts, your buttons, your hats, your dolls, your music albums. And there are millions of people who hate Elvis Presley. Why should their hatred be free? Oh, Hazy D. That feel good, bud. You sunning your little butt. The snowman strikes again. Love that. Love that. I'm into it. Paul, how to prepare for great grief. Man, you Iceland folks, you are real. I guess it's probably as a result of the like harsh and barren and challenging environment in which you live. But I will tell you this, Hugs, you have a dark turn to your thinking. Do you know that? It's okay. I like that about you. I can sometimes have a dark turn to my thinking. Yeah, it's cold. It's harsh and it's barren. But you have a dark way of thinking. You know what I mean? You Nordic folk, you extreme Nords, right? You Icelands, you got a dark turn to your thinking. It's bleak, and your thinking kind of is reflected, I think, by your environment. And I think that's true of a lot of people too. Lard ass, thanks for the sub. Thanks for pumping that algorithm. Thanks for touching the poop, homeboy. I'll take that. Another penny in the bank, baby. Make sure you dislike the stream on the way out, too. YouTube hates that. Calls that engagement. Make sure you hang out and make alts and come back, too. Subscribe with those, too. We love it. Paul, would you go to Iceland as a vacation? Yes. Absolutely. But here's the thing. The only way that I would go to a place like Iceland for a vacation is if I fucking knew somebody there that was going to be like, all right, dude, I don't have to stay with them or whatever, but I need to know somebody local that's going to help me out. Like, how am I going to get around? Where should I go? What should I do? You know, I need like a tour guide kind of person that I trust, right? But I would love to do that. I would love to do, like, a lot of the Nordic countries would be really cool to visit, I think. That language, oh yeah. I imagine it's fucking an insane fucking language. Yeah. I think Nordic people in general have a dark bent to their thinking. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like a lot of people would say, oh, you know, I'm just saying, I think that they have a maybe not pessimistic, but like kind of like a death-based kind of way of thinking. It's a harsh way of thinking, a harsh and often dark way of thinking. I have a friend who went to Iceland herself and felt it wasn't too hard for her to get oriented as an English speaker. Well, I imagine most people in Iceland are at a minimum bilingual. Hugs can back me on that or correct me on that. But I would say that it is pretty much like standard in Iceland to be at a minimum bilingual, probably closer to trilingual. Hugs communicates in English better than 90% of English speakers and speaks one of the hardest languages to speak in the world fluently, I imagine. So, yeah, there's some dark shit, bro. Yeah, that like, I got a fucking bug out bag for Ragnarok type of mentality. You got that right, dude. Ragnarok could jump off at any fucking point type of fucking thinking. Trump did say that he was going to buy Iceland. He did say that shit. Why did he want it? I mean, I imagine it's probably going to be like a really amazing place to live in about 20 years. Temperate, beautiful, flourishing climate. Oh, was it Greenland that he wanted to buy? Oh, okay. He wanted to buy Greenland. Different frozen wasteland mass. Isn't Iceland where Eric the Red, right? Eric, what was his name? Svensson, right? Or, yeah. Eric the Red. Wasn't like, okay, so like, as I understand it, right, his family was kind of like exiled to Iceland, right? And his father had like a homestead there in Iceland, but it was not very productive. And his family's like, it was not like going to Iceland and being a sharecropper or whatever at that time was not like a great life. And so Eric, the Red, struck out with a crew from there with the intent of finding Greenland, right? And Greenland, in their mind, was the idea of like the Western continent, right? And they found Greenland, which is one of the most treacherous places on the planet to, yeah. And then Eric killed some folk in Iceland. Yeah. Something happened in Iceland, got banished. And I don't think he found Greenland, because one of the things I remember reading was they discovered evidence of other expeditions that had come there before them, right? But no examples of any permanent settlement or anything. And the ice flows around Greenland were incredibly treacherous and required precise navigation of the longboats and shit that they used, right? And so there was like, approaching it from its western side, you have these huge ice flows coming down from the north that turn it into basically like a ship crusher as it wraps around that island, right? So you have to get through that to get to what they would call like the eastern shores of Greenland, is where like most of the semi-permanent settlements were made initially. Well, the Inuit, of course, yes, were there for thousands of years, right? Having migrated across those ice flows. I have a book on the Vinland saga, and it's a really fascinating read about the Vinland accounts. Yeah. I haven't read that one, but I'm trying to remember the name of the book that I read. It was years ago. About, escapes me now. But yeah, it was about Eric the Red. I was just recounting what I remember from the narrative of that, right? Like his father was banished from Norway to Iceland. And then Eric got himself banished from Iceland and struck out and, you know, kind of like founded the first semi-permanent colony in Greenland. Semi-permanent Nordic colony, right? Obviously ignoring, as is customary, the Inuit population. Yeah, it's Eric the Red, right? And that allowed for what, like, Leif Erikson, who was the son of Eric the Red, right? Hence Eriksson. Yeah. And he created like these semi-permanent, or attempted to create these semi-permanent colonies in what he called Vinland, which is now like what? Newfoundland and kind of like Canada, like Eastern Canada, right? Well, not Eastern, I guess, yeah. Well, no, Western Canada. I get all fucked up. I'm all fucked up on the East-West shit now because my brain, it doesn't make sense, bro. But I don't want you to try and explain it to me. Because at a certain point, doesn't West become East? Here's what fucked me up on it. You guys have heard of the Chinese folktale Journey to the West, right? With Wukong, the Monkey King, and all of that, right? I always thought that that was like people coming from like, what I would say is like Eastern China in my mind, right? And coming to that west coast of China. Like making their way towards, you know, the North China Sea, towards that, like where Beijing is, right? That's what I thought that was about, Journey to the West. But to the west for them was India. So Journey to the West, having read it now, is about India. It's about coming from Beijing, like what we would think of as Western China, to India. So to them, West is India. From what we would call the western coast of China, to go further west for them is to go to India. So I'm all fucked up. Amelia has tried to explain this shit to me. It doesn't, I'm just too stupid. She gets it, but I'm all fucked up on East-West now. I am. I don't even know what it means anymore. It probably doesn't mean anything. It's just like a reference thing, but like it has to at some point in my mind flip polarities.
Well, west is always west, east is always east.
I'm just too stupid to wrap my head around it. I'm sorry. Look, at least I believe the earth is round. Okay? I'm not a flat earther. You know, so I get kind of that basic thing, but it's just like how we describe going west seems like at some point it has to go like because if you keep going west, eventually you're going east. It's fucked.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what fucks me up.
All the way around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what fucks me up about it. There is no real east-west, because what's the fucking start reference point for it? Right?
Well,
East-west
it's
is just an
based on
idea.
Travel direction, like, yeah, you might be going. If you go far enough west, you might be more close to east from where you started, but that doesn't have any bearing on you currently going further west and further west.
Let me, as an example, let's say you and I, we keep learning Mandarin, we want to visit the Far East. What direction are we going to fly in?
We're going to fly east.
No, we're going to fly west.
What do you mean?
We're not, if we're in California, to get to China from California, what we call the Far East, right, is going to be, we're going to go west off the coast.
You think it's closer going over the Pacific Ocean
Yes.
than
going all the way around? Maybe, I would assume, right? To go to China, they land in LA, probably, I would imagine, right? Straight from Beijing. Mm-hmm. I don't imagine they go east all the way around the globe and all the way over fucking Mongolia to get to Beijing, right? It's got to be shorter to just... So you go west to get to the Far East. and you go east to get to the far west. What sense does this fucking make?
Let's see what it would tell us to do if we were flying to Beijing. If we'd be going over the entire Pacific, or...
Well, to get to Hawaii, right, you go directly west.
So, it is saying that it would stop in Haneda. Where's Haneda?
Sounds like a South Pacific island. It's Japan.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess, yeah, you would go west from here.
So to get to the fucking Far East, we go west. And for them to get to the Far West, naturally, we travel east. This makes no sense. I can't wrap my fucking head around it. Right? I think that what we call West is just a Western, what we would call a Western perspective. It's because that's how we denote ourselves. We're Westerners. Why are we Westerners? Where on the globe is magnetic West? Right?
There's no
right, because
magnet west.
Right, exactly. East and West don't exist. So, North and South exist.
You know what GMT is, right?
Greenwich Mean Time. It's
That's
Greenwich,
in
England.
London.
Right. Yeah. But who fucking put it there?
That's the dateline.
See what I mean? I think there's an inherent fucking fucked up perspective going on here, because you can't point west to me. You can point in the direction we think is west, but really I'll do it right now. East, west. But I'm pointing at China right now. Unless you want my arm to wrap around the globe and point at it from the Indian side, right? I'm pointing at China, but I'm pointing geographic west. How's that work?
It just wouldn't, it's called the East from Europe.
So white people decided that was west, and this is east. We can do the north-south, right? Because there's a magnetic northern pole that we can track from anywhere on the globe, right?
And
then
based
the opposite,
on where north is, west is always one direction and east is always the other direction.
When you're standing right on the magnetic north pole?
No. I just mean if north is that, there's rules about where west and east is based on where north is.
Based on what crusty old white people put in Greenwich, England, apparently. To confuse motherfuckers like me that read Journey to the West and think this motherfucker's heading to California, and then learn that the West is the East and the East is the West.
You're getting too hung up on it.
I'm too hung up on it. It's always been a problem. But it's one of those things that, this is why I was bad at math. And I would drive my fucking teachers crazy with this shit. I would ask them questions like this that I just can't, maybe I'm slow on the uptake. When it comes to certain concepts, I can't.
Just forget it's called the West and the East. Just focus on what direction you have to go to travel to it.
But then why do we have those terms then? Why can't we get rid of the terms?
It's based on Europe.
We just get rid of the terms?
If you wanted to do a European tour and then a Chinese tour.
Can we just start using because don't we have coordinates and shit?
Yeah. Yeah, coordinates.
But it would be longitude and latitude, right? Yeah. So can we just start saying longitude instead of fucking east-west and confusing the whole goddamn thing? No, we can't. Because everybody wants to say east and west still.
Well, longitude is based on the same problem as GMT. It's based in a certain
spot. Yeah. Because reasons that I'm sure matter today. You know what I mean? I get it. Maybe it's convenience, right? That would be the argument, right? It's convenient for us to have this point.
Yeah, to have a start point
We
for the latitude and the longitude.
But that doesn't change the fact that conceptually it's something that we fucking made up and decided.
Yeah.
Because there is no magnetic east-west, right? If you're standing directly on the North Pole, there is no east or west. East and west is every direction if you're right on the goddamn North Pole. Right? That's fucking nuts. No, I can't. See, this is why, like, when I was a little boy, I wanted to be a marine biologist. That was the first fucking thing that I said. I wasn't like astronaut kid, right? I love the ocean. I still do. As soon as I figured out that biology required me to understand, like, DNA helixes and numbers and ectomorph and endomorph and recessive genes and east and west, I was fucked. Right? I hit a brick wall because my mind it's on the other end of things, man. It really is fucked up to live that way sometimes, but damn, it's hella fun sometimes too, being dumb.
You're not dumb.
Well, not dumb. I'm just not gifted in conceptual, theoretical, mathematical things. Right? I'm just not gifted that way. Paul, isn't time itself just which direction is based
you
on?
You can see the prime meridian is going through good, jolly old Europe.
Because some crusty white old fucking 1300s guy put it there.
Yeah, and then it defines the west from the prime meridian in Europe. The Eastern Hemisphere, based on Europe. Europe is just the center of
this
our
ridiculous
shit.
concept would make no sense unless we arbitrarily designate a point. Let us do that. Which crusty white man will designate it? I vote for Greenwich. Yes, Greenwich is now the center of the universe and the place where the apex of all travel begins and is referenced to. So saith the Baron. You know what I mean? Like, whoop-de-dildo. That doesn't help me. Because my mind goes like, why? And you're not going to be able to answer that because the answer you're going to give me is you give me the real answer, which is because that's what was decided way back when. Yeah. But I'm like a 10-year-old. I'm like a 4-year-old. Basically, I'm just like, that's what was decided way back then. Why? Because that's what needed to happen so that we could reference direction properly. Why?
Because the British were colonizers.
Why?
Because the British
are shitbag pieces of shit. We shouldn't listen to them when they put themselves at the center of the goddamn planet. You're not the North Pole. Fight the power.
Where do you want to move the prime meridian to?
You know what I want to do? I don't want to move it.
No.
You know how it's like a line, right? It goes right through Greenwich. I just want to expand that line. We're all the goddamn prime meridian now, dude. East is west, up is down if you decide it. Everybody's trying to ditch all this gender oppression, and I'm with that. Fuck this east-west oppression. I'm going, where you headed, sir?
Well, I guess if you wanted to be fair to everyone, you would just put it in, like, the center of the Pacific Ocean.
But nobody's talking about that. Ain't nobody making that argument. Let's ditch this colonialist idea that in Greenwich, England, time ceases to exist and you're standing at the poles of the planet. Like, those motherfuckers haven't won a war in who goddamn knows how long, bro. Why do they get to fucking decide where the prime... And they name it that, too? Yes, where will we put the prime meridian? Of course they landed on some shit-fuck fish and chip shop, gray, rains fucking 364 days a year, shithole British place. By George, it's in Greenwich. If you truly understand navigation, none of this would be a problem to you. But sir, can I tell you something? I do not truly understand navigation, nor do I think I ever will. Maybe I'm just stubborn and I choose to not understand. Because it really is not... You have to just accept a bunch of nonsensical shit in order for it to make sense. And I get that. Sometimes that's the way it has to work. We live on a round, well, what do they call it? An oblate sphere, right? Whatever. We live in, it's basically round. So we have to do some crazy fuckery for us to be able to reference like, hey, I'm going over there, right? I get it. I get it to that point. Then it just disintegrates in my mind, conceptually speaking. And that's just the way it is, I think. I get it, kinda. I'm not trying to play dumb. I get it, kinda.
Because the prime meridian is in Europe, the coordinates in fucking China are gonna be east.
Until you're in China.
No, the coordinates stay the same.
What about the anti-prime meridian? There has to be one on the other side of the globe. Where's that? What happens when you're standing on that motherfucker? See what I mean? North Pole, South Pole. Prime meridian, anti-prime meridian.
Yeah. So you see.
Where's the anti-prime meridian?
That 180.
Yeah, the 180 is the prime meridian.
No, the 0 is the prime meridian, the 180 is the opposite. So, like, everything from the prime meridian west is western coordinates, and everything from the prime meridian east is eastern coordinates.
North, south, right? They're the polar opposites of one another. Prime meridian, anti-prime meridian. Where that be at? And when
the
you
180.
So it's all the way at the top?
I mean, the other side of the globe. It's not like it's at the top. It's just it can't show a whole sphere in 2D.
Why not?
Just think of the prime meridian as this whole wraps around the whole globe.
But that's how I think of north and south too.
Yeah.
It's so right. So there's a spot where north and south cross, right? Where they meet.
The equator.
Well, but
So, like, for the north and south coordinates, they're based on the equator.
yes. And that one makes sense to me, but nobody goes like, we live in equatorial prime. You know what I mean? Nobody says that shit. Nobody takes pride in that equator shit.
Because it wraps all the way around.
So does the other one. So does the east west one. He's a little. It's fun. It's fun to think about. It really doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm having a fucking existential crisis over east and west. Just forgive me.
Just the fucking Europeans decided that they were the center.
Yeah, Europeans decided they were at the center of every goddamn fucking thing. And because they could lay no claim to the equator, they just let that be for everyone.
Yeah. Well, because it's in the middle regardless. There's no...
Yeah, because there's an axis. Oh, fuck this. It's too much math. See? Now we're looking at the planet, how it tilts. Fuck this. I'm glad there's people out there that think this shit through, because I ain't him. You know? And I'm glad there's people out there that just innately are like, this guy's fucking retarded. I get this. Because thank God for you people. Because you guys make sure I get to Wichita or Kalamazoo or wherever I'm headed, right? Because I'll be goddamned if when I plug that shit in and it tells me head over on this street, I'll be goddamned if I know how that happens. Yeah, I might be like one of these dudes that's just not quite dumb enough to be convinced of the flat earth shit. I'm not quite dumb enough.
They think you're close.
I think like I'd probably like they would say, oh, prime target, but they'd never be able to sell me on it.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that people just like maybe like
if you were exposed to a little more lead as a kid.
A little more lead in the Kool-Aid when I was a kid, coming from the lead pipes, a little more asbestos around, maybe if I was like 2-3 years earlier before they really started raking asbestos out of homes. You know what I mean? Just a little drip of that, drop of that. If my mom was a little bit more voodoo than she is, a little bit more, like I said last night, Arkansas bog witch, where she's got a little bit of that Santeria belief, a little bit more of that, I probably could have been a flat earther, right? Maybe one like head trauma as a kid, a little CTE. I could have been over here going like, it don't make no sense because the earth is flat. You know what I mean? I get it. I get it's a ball. I just don't know how we even talk about the ball. That's the problem, right? My problem is mathematical, clearly, not theoretical. I get
it's
it.
The same with like the flat maps. They're based on Europe. Like Europe is X size, and then they make fucking Greenland look massive,
right?
Because they stretch it out,
right,
at the top.
You know what I'm saying, man? I don't pretend to understand it, though. At least I'm not one of these dudes that'll pretend to understand it. Like, when I don't get it, I'll fucking straight up tell you. I'm just telling you. It is typically, in the past, when it comes to this topic, been a waste of time for people to try. I get it, right? But I just don't get it. Yeah, a little bit of CTE goes a long way. I agree. And I was a rough and tumble kid. I fell down a lot. So maybe just one more little catastrophic bonk could have been fucking a whole different world for me. Oh, beautiful little scrub jay back there. I don't know if you guys can see him or her. No, probably not, huh? Where would you be from here? You little turd. Right there? Or there? Right on the fucking fence. How would I get it? It's literally right behind my head. Okay, there we go. Where's she at? Oh, I gotta point it over there. Duh. Something like this? Oh, she's gone. Fuck. God damn. See what I mean? I'm retarded. Like a little bit, though. Yeah, you just saw it. Yeah, I gotta point it a little more east. Directionally challenged. No, just scrub jays around here. They're beautiful, big and mean. But yeah, scrub jays around the area I am now. Who knows? You know where I'll end up moving to and what kind of birdies we'll have, but hopefully a lot. Explain how the sun hits the peak of the mountains and moves down the mountain as the sun rises. Bro, okay, maybe the earth is flat. I'm just playing. Or your point about Trump having his last hurrah with these, dude, yeah. He just balls out to the world, bro. He's like, did you guys see him like blowing the mic at one of his rallies, riding around in a garbage truck? I mean, the dude is gone. He's just like, whatever, dude. Fucking dicks out for Harambe till election day, bro. I'm gonna be everything she's not. You know, she's like trying to be overly professional. I'm gonna be the wild guy with the fucking giving a blowjob to the microphone. You know what I mean? He's having his moment, bro. Like, may as well let your dick flop out. It's the last hurrah for his ass, dude. He knows he ain't running again in 2028. This motherfucker won't be alive in 2028. He knows it. We know it. This is it, bro. You know what I mean? Dick's out. Big orange balls out, tiny little orange pee-pee out. Yeah, no, I mean, he's fully, I agree. He's gone toddler mode, bro. There's a dump in his pants, and he's irascible. He needs a snack. He needs a chalky baba. He's about to say some shit that's wildly out of pocket, but it's like a kid, you know, so you let it go. Diapers off. The shit is orange too. That makeup just keeps getting more and more orange the closer we get to the D-Day. I don't know what that is, dude, but that shit is more and more. I shit you not, dude. Look at the picture of him when he got shot. That motherfucker didn't even have makeup on. Look at that. You know the picture where he's bleeding and like pumping his fist or whatever? That motherfucker barely had any makeup on. Now look at the last time he was out, dude. Every goddamn fucking week that goes by, a darker shade of orange is revealed. It's getting orange and it's getting damp too. He's starting to sweat. Dude, this shit is gonna be wild, bro. From the perspective that I have, which good, bad, right, or wrong, you're not gonna argue me out of it, that ultimately for the average fucking person, this isn't gonna matter. The spectacle of it though is gonna be fucking grade A shit. Namaste. And the chaos that is DFFDP. You may know me as Hunter S. Bunsen, but here in this space, I'd like to be chill and vibing psychedelic Buddha bun, if you'll allow. Yeah. Yeah, you can be whatever you want, man. Fuck yeah. Thanks for the donation. Appreciate it. Very kind of you. Yeah, the shit show either side will have. I mean, no matter what happens, right? No matter which way it goes, both sides of this are gonna fucking flip their shit. It's gonna be like a big pop off and a counter meltdown, no matter what. Bird politics again. I think it's about to be a little bit crazy is all I'm saying, dude. The spectacle, the kind of like circus show is about to get, the three-ring circus about to hit the apex, bro. You know that point at the end of the circus where all the elephants be coming out, all the clowns be coming out, the lion tamer's out, right? The dude on stilts, the fucking trapeze people are flipping, right? The midgets blowing fire, right? It's wild, right? That's it. It's that fucking moment, guys. Fucking 5 days and counting. Right? 4 days and counting, I guess. Jesus. Oh, dude, it's fucking like people on both, like, dude, Trumpers are losing it, bro. They're getting fucking wild. Buck wild. Kamala people, dude, people that are still on that sour ass fucking Kamala coconut mommy milk, dude. They're going fucking wild, dude. That sour milk has turned them crazy and fucking feral. You know what I mean? Dude, I saw, and this is no joke, bro. You know, like Ring cameras are a thing, right? Dude put a Trump Vance sign on his lawn. A bitch drove by in the early morning. I've seen this, bro. Stops her car in the middle of the road. Jumps out. Has her keys in her hand, ready to fucking go, right? Average white chick, dumpy, middle-aged, white broad. She dives on the Trump Vance sign, pins it to the ground with her big old flabby knees, and starts stabbing it with her keys. You motherfucker! Then she gets up, kicks it, gets back in her fucking minivan, and drives away. Dude, that bitch was out there all day. She might have fucking checked you in at the doctor's office. like to reward you for your ethical compromise. Thank you. You think about, I saw that, bro. And it's like, I saw another one. Dude's Ring camera picked up an Amazon delivery driver, and they had a sign that was like Trump for prison, right? And this dude, I shit you not, gave his whole job away over that sign. Walks up to the porch, and that was one sign too many, bro, for that Trump guy. He throws their package. He goes, and he goes like, more like Democrats for the gas chamber. And he just walks away. And I'm like, that dude gave his whole job over a fucking lawn sign, bro. And that's before the election, bro. We're talking about like not election day, not after election day shenanigans. This is like a couple weeks before the election, this shit was popping off. People are going ape shit. Ape shit, dude. The blood is pumping. The blood is pumping through people, dude. It's wild. That, I will never forget that, bro. That lady hopped out of her minivan and tackled a Trump sign like it was her mortal enemy and stabbed it to death with her keys and then just went on to work. I can't even, dude, that's a tea kettle situation. That's a coronary waiting to happen, bro. As wound up as I get, you guys see me get passionate, yelling, screaming, saying crazy shit. Dude, that's my release valve, so I don't get like that, bro. You could never catch me diving out of my car on top of a lawn sign and stabbing that shit up. Yeah, nobody, yeah, that, I don't know if you're trolling or not, but yeah, no one needs to go ape shit, but Trump is trying to end democracy. Nobody needs to go ape shit, but Kamala's a radical communist who wants to take your guns away from you. Nobody needs to go ape shit, though. But Trump is definitely trying to end democracy right now. And if he wins, it's the last day for democracy in America, dude. Democracy's over. And if Kamala wins, dude, last day for democracy again. It's about to be communist China over here. She will bow down to China. She will allow the immigrants to flood our country. Pick your poison, man. It's fucking crazy. But everybody calm down, though. We're not trying to rile you up or, irresponsibly stoke your darker impulses or anything, right? Everybody needs to remain calm. But Trump is about to open up the camps, and Kamala is about to take your paycheck and give it to the Bureau of Paychecks, okay? It's commie or Nazi, all right? Not to inflame you, not to stoke what is already a scarily passionate and divided nation, okay? But let's just be real for a minute. Orange man, a Nazi. Cop woman, a communist, okay? Not to, like, add fuel to the fire in an already dangerously divided country. But Trump, basically Nazi. Kamala, basically fucking, fucking Chairman Mao. Kamala. Kamalanianism. And then all those people are gonna fucking run around with all those people that stoked this shit with their fucking bullshit rhetoric are gonna run around with their hair on fire when the riots break out and shit. What happened? Why are people so crazy? Oh my God, this is not America. And it's like fucking just 2 weeks ago you were going like, if you don't fucking vote for Kamala, the Nazis are gonna win. Just like you have a fucking role. If you've been spouting that for the last 6 months, bro, sign up and take a card for your fucking chunk of the fault. Whoa. That was wild. I don't know what that was, bro. Something just flew over my head, bro. Yeah, take your number. If you ran around acting like this election was going to blow up the country, when people act like it's going to blow up the country and riot all over the place, you get to hold that L along with them. You were part of the hysteria around this crazy vibes election that we're on. You were out there going Nazi, 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 war criminal, fucking just, you know, either side of the aisle. Stand there and hold the L while the fucking country burns. Because you played your role. Like, what do you think the end result is that when that's the fucking chant coming from the media, coming from the alternative media, the new media, political commentators, you know, every resource, both campaigns, every resource that you could possibly go to listen to is screaming, it's the end of democracy. Right? But chill. Be peaceful. But it's the end if you don't. You know what I mean? Like, hold that fucking L when people die over this. When people die behind this wild, crazy bullshit farce, get ready to hold that L if you fucking ran around like a flaming retard, Chicken Little, the sky is falling situation. Right? Trump is saying the enemy within talk. How am I supposed to react to that? With a fucking level head. Realize that, like, rhetoric on both sides of politics, especially at the national level, have increased so dramatically in their fucking, like, uncharitability, their wide interpretation of things, and the need to take extreme positions on either side. Like, it's wild. I'm not saying ignore it. I'm just saying let's not pretend that we're at the very end of the Weimar Republic and Hitler just burned the Reichstag or whatever the fuck, right? Let's not pretend. Like, let's be real. Can I be real about something? If you're going to be honest, because Trump is not an unknown quantity. We did 4 years of the motherfucker. Here's how I assessed Trump, and this is just me being honest. He was completely and utterly incompetent as a president. He was more concerned with how Fox News was covering him than getting anything done that he promised to do. And I see no reason to believe that all of a sudden at 80 years old, with a diaper filled with shit, this guy's gonna be a lean, mean genocide, fucking open up the camps, burn the Constitution machine. This dude is gonna be doing exactly what he did during his first fucking presidency if he wins. You know what that is? Sitting in his fucking office 23 hours a day, eating McDonald's and watching the news. That's what he did for the first 4 years. Even though he said he was going to do all this crazy shit back in 2016. You guys remember? So my call on is that none of this shit is coming to pass. I mean, I had Nick Fuentes at one of his America First rally. Now Nick Fuentes is endorsed and voting for Kamala Harris. What do you make of that? You heard about that one? What's going on? You tell me what's going on. He had Nick Fuentes as at one of his America First rallies, and now Nick Fuentes has endorsed and been arguing for voting for Kamala Harris for the last 6 months. Hope you're right, Paul. I really do. Okay. Honkers. Love them. My little honkers. It's not really Roe v. Wade getting ultimately killed that I put on the Dems. It's the 40 years of intransigence and codifying it that I put at their doorstep. They created the environment by which Roe v. Wade was eventually killed. So I put it right at their fucking doorstep. They had 40 fucking years, multiple supermajorities during that time where they could have gotten it done, and they didn't, because it was more useful to them as a political football. Uh-oh. But whatever. Do what you got to do. I'm just saying. This hair on fire chicken little shit has gotten wild, and a lot of people are going to be sitting with a lot of wild takes to account for 6 months after this fucking election, bro. Whichever way it fucking goes. And we're in an environment now where things don't matter. Like, people don't even remember 2020 now. Like, whatever. That was a long time ago. It's like, what? It was one cycle ago? Okay. So nobody, like the kind of sad period at the end of this tragedy, this tragic comedy, is that after all the bullshit, nobody will learn anything. They'll just find a group of people who reinforce their bias, hug box it up for a few months, and then just move forward like they weren't running around pretending that Armageddon was coming, right? That's just the way it works. Hopefully, if Trump wins, we side with Israel. But if Kamala wins, Israel no support, sadly. Based on what? The New York Times said that they, got straight from her campaign that she has no plans to restrict weapons shipments to Israel. How is that pulling support from Israel? It's retarded shit, bro. Don't be, well, whatever. I can't, you're gonna be, dude. It's just gonna get worse. Every goddamn day it's gonna get worse. I'm hoping that the streams that I choose to do between now and then are an oasis of some kind, right? On some level. Paul, you said we are danged if we do, danged if we don't. Yeah, always. Well, they already have been. They've been melting down at me for like, I don't know if you've noticed, for like a year over here. It's been one after the next. I mean, go back and look at my last year worth of streams. Check out the live chat on them. I always publish that. Just go back and watch when I'm talking politics. Go back a year. They've been in full nuclear meltdown mode for a year. People are about to go fucking ragged crazy from this shit, dude. It's about to get fucking wild. I'm not even joking, dude. Some of these people have been carrying the chip on their shoulder over a couple of years now. Not just at me, but just in general over this shit that's about to all culminate. It's like, so I don't gotta wait for it. I do know that it's probably going to increase in intensity. Like tomorrow will be worse than today, you know, in terms of the intensity of it. As we get days and hours closer to this shit fucking going down, everybody's gonna be fucking melting down and coping. Don't miss the deep fat fried / onion nuggets coverage of the election. I will be manning the sweat index desk, monitoring the Young Turks for how sweaty Chank is, because that has predicted the last 2 elections. A lot of people don't know that. We'll be watching all the news, all the meltdowns. We'll be speculating. We'll be following the latest polls. We'll be making wild calls before the news does. That's what we do. So come and watch a bunch of stoners try and make sense of this insane fucking election. It'll be Tuesday. I'm not exactly sure when we're going to go live, but we'll be live well before the shit jumps off. Trust me on that. I'm going to leave now. Thank you guys for chilling. It's been fun. I'll see you next time. Bye.